What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hoops and Stuff podcast. I'm your host, Isaac, and today we're going to be going over Super Bowl 58 and just everything that happened in the game. So, pre-game, my prediction was for the Chiefs to win, and they did come out on top. The final score was 22-25 in overtime, and this game came down to the wire. This was actually a really good game, in my opinion, and definitely some interesting play to talk about. So, like I said, score was 22-25, and for passing, obviously we've seen Brock Purdy throw 38 passes and complete 23 of those on 255 yards with one passing touchdown. Now, for Brock Purdy, he is only 24, and he was the last pick in his 2022 draft class. 262. So basically, any team could have had Brock Purdy, but it was the 49ers that came out on top. And I mean, he's played a great season so far. He played a great season this year, But last night wasn't a phenomenal game for him. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was not great. And I definitely think that if he would have performed a bit better, they would have pulled away with this win. I mean, on the season, he threw 444 passes for 308 completions. So he's got a decent amount of completions there. And he threw for a total of 31 touchdowns on 4,280 yards. So he's throwing the ball a lot. I don't really know where I was going with that, but he was in the race for MVP. He fell in 4th place. He was in the race for Offensive Player of the Year, where he fell in 6th place. And then he was in the race for Comeback Player of the Year, and he was in 6th place for that. And he was a Pro Bowler this year, but obviously wasn't able to play in it because he made the Super Bowl. So pretty impressive season for Brock Purdy. Just couldn't pull out the win in Super Bowl 58. Now the next one is interesting. We have Jauan Jennings for 1 attempt passing and 1 completion, 21-yard touchdown to Christian McCaffrey. And as for receiving, Jauan Jennings had 4 catches for 42 yards and 1 touchdown. So he scored 2 of the touchdown, or he scored both the touchdowns, one by passing and one by receiving. And honestly, I think that he would have been their Super Bowl MVP if they were to have won, but obviously they didn't. So for rushing, we've seen Christian McCaffrey with 22 carries for 80 yards. No rushing touchdowns, though, which is pretty surprising. But he was able to get one on the receiving end where he had 8 catches for 80 yards as well. And he had 1 touchdown. And then Brandon Ayuk had 3 catches for 49 yards, no touchdowns. And then, like I said, Jauan Jennings, 4 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. And then Debo had 3 catches for 33 yards and no touchdown. And Debo at one point did go out for a slight moment with an injury. And same with George Kittle. And we also seen Jair Brown go out with a shoulder injury after he got an interception, which was the only interception in the game. And We also seen I want to say it was Dre Greenlaw go out with an injury. Yeah, Dre Greenlaw did end up going out with an injury, and I think it was an Achilles injury, they said. So a big piece was missing for probably about a half of the game for this 49ers team. A big piece of their defense with Dre Greenlaw, but they still held it close, and they got into overtime, but they just couldn't hold the Chiefs back in overtime, which caused them the game. But overall, it was a great game for the 49ers. Jake Moody broke the field goal record for the longest field goal, and then Harrison Butker broke it in like the second quarter, or the second half, sorry. But pretty interesting game on the kicking side too, I'd say. Next up, we have the Chiefs, and they were obviously able to pull out this win. They scored 25 points, and everybody wanted to see the 49ers win, which is understandable because the Chiefs won last year as well. But Patrick Mahomes he's a great quarterback. He threw 46 passes and completed 34 of those. He had 333 yards. He had 2 passing touchdowns on 1 interception. And that was his first interception of the postseason. And for rushing, he was actually leading them in rushing yards. He had 9 carries for 66 yards, no touchdowns. And Pacheco had 18 carries for 59 yards, no touchdown. And then Travis Kelce had 9 catches for 93 yards, no touchdown. So Travis was getting quite a few targets. And then McCole Hardman had a touchdown for the Chiefs and 3 catches on 57 yards. And then Justin Watson, who is somebody who I want to say has been around the league a few years now. And he had 3 catches for 54 yards. And then Rashee Rice, nothing crazy. He did have 6 catches, but only for 39 yards. So they played a decent game, but I feel like it wasn't a normal Kansas City Super Bowl matchup. And then, like I said, for the kicking aspect of the ball, Harrison Butker did end up kicking a 57-yard field goal to break the record, which was set earlier in the game. Real quick, I just want to break down the scoring. So in the first quarter, we've seen no points from either team, which was very surprising. And then in the second quarter, we've seen 10 points from San Fran and 3 from Kansas City. And then after halftime, Kansas City came back in the third quarter and shut out San Francisco and got 10 points. So then going into the fourth quarter, it was 13-10. Kansas City had the lead, and San Francisco got 9 in the fourth quarter, and KC had 6 in the fourth quarter. And what really sucks is that Jake Moody missed a field goal that could have won them the game. And that definitely probably cost him the game. He was blocked on the field goal attempt. But overall, like I said, Chiefs came out on top. And most people probably watched the game. But if not, then this is a nice little summarization of the game for you. That's going to be it for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks on the Hoops and Stuff podcast.